Right now, a glowing rectangle in your pocket remembers everything so you don't have to. Every number, every birthday, every road home, the face of a friend you haven't seen in years. You handed all of it to the machine, and quietly, for the first time in 40,000 years, your memory stopped trying. Your ancestors carried whole epics in their heads, thousands of lines, word for word, with no page in sight. You can't hold a 7-digit number long enough to dial it. Nothing is wrong with your brain. The job just changed, and your body has not caught up. Here's the strange part. You're not remembering less because you're lazy or distracted or getting old. You're remembering less because finally you can. For almost all of human history, forgetting meant losing a thing forever. There was no backup. So your mind became a vault, not as a metaphor, as the realest tool your kind ever owned. Tonight, you'll learn why that vault feels so empty now, why it was never built for phone numbers in the first place, and what it was actually built to hold. Strip away the city, the screen, the schedule. What's left is a memory older than writing itself. Here's where the body remembers. Writing is new. Almost brand new. The first true scripts show up barely 5,000 years ago, but you've been fully human for at least 200,000. Do the math. For more than 95% of your story, there was no paper, no ink, no cloud. There was only the head. Every recipe, every border, every law, every dead grandmother's face. All of it lived in someone's memory, or it didn't live at all, so they got good at it. Frighteningly good. In the 1930s, a scholar named Milman Parry went into the mountains of the Balkans with a hard question. How could a singer recite tens of thousands of lines with no book in front of him? He found men who could perform for hours, whole epics from memory, not word by memorized word, but built live from rhythm, story, and place. His student Albert Lord wrote it all down in 1960. And it wasn't rare. The oldest Hindu scriptures were carried in living minds for perhaps 3,000 years before anyone dared write them down. Checked, guarded, passed mouth to mouth across 100 generations. No hard drive has ever lasted that long, and they didn't just keep the gist. They kept it exact, sound for sound, because there was no master copy to check against. The memory was the master copy. Even the trick of it is ancient. One old story tells of a poet who could name every guest at a collapsed feast hall in order just by picturing where each had been sitting. Memory loved a place. It loved a story. It never much cared for a list. You can still watch this system work today, out in the open. In parts of Aboriginal Australia, elders carry songlines, sung paths that run for hundreds, sometimes thousands of kilometers across the land. The melody holds the route. The verses hold the waterholes, the turns, the safe places to rest. A person could cross a desert they had never walked before, guided by a song learned beside a fire. That's a map, a survival manual, and a library, with no object to drop and nothing to lose. No fire could burn it. No flood could carry it off. It ended only if the last singer did. The researcher Lynn Kelly spent years asking how cultures without writing hold so much. Her answer in 2015 was almost gentle. They don't fight their memory. They work with it. They tie knowledge to land, to movement, to story and song, the very things your brain grips hardest. A flat fact slips away. Wrap that same fact in a place and a journey, and it stays for life. You already know this. You've lost 1,000 passwords, but the first home you can remember. Every room, every doorway. You could walk it in the dark right now. You never once sat down to memorize it. It just moved in and stayed because it was a place. That's not luck. That's the old system still running underneath, waiting for something worth holding. You can feel the switch flip in real time. In 2011, a researcher named Betsy Sparrow ran a simple test at Columbia. People typed facts into a computer. Half were told the file would be saved. Half were told it would be erased. The ones who believed they could look it up later remembered the facts far worse, but they remembered exactly where to find them. Your brain had made a quiet decision. Why hold what the machine will hold for you? They called it the Google effect. Your mind files the path to the answer instead of the answer itself. Not because it broke, because it's efficient. It always was. The moment you trust the machine to keep a thing, your brain quietly lets it go. That's not laziness. It's a deal your mind struck long ago. Never waste room on what the world will hold for you. And there's an older limit underneath. Back in 1956, a psychologist named George Miller found that the lifespan of what you can hold in mind at once is tiny. Famously, about 7 things. Give or take. 7. That's the whole workspace. A phone number sits right at that edge. Teetering, one distraction from gone. But a story, a song, a path through a place, those don't sit in the small workspace. They sink into the deep system, the one built for meaning, not digits. You are never bad with numbers. Numbers are just the one thing your memory was never designed to keep. Tonight, you'll do this without thinking. Someone will say a number, and your hand will reach for your phone before your mind even tries. Watch yourself do it. That reflex is only a few years old, sitting on top of a system 100,000 years deep. Your body didn't get the memo that the job is finished. You don't have to fight it, but you could feed the old machine just once this week. Pick one thing worth keeping, a phone number, a short poem, the way to somewhere you love. Then don't save it, walk it. Turn it into a small journey through a place you know well. Scatter the digits through the rooms of your house. Paste the poem out along your street. Give it a place. Give it a story. Do that and it will stay. Not because you tried harder, because you finally spoke to your memory in its first language, the one it's been waiting to hear. You were built to be the library. For 100,000 years, your head was the only place a story could live. So you became the vault, the map, the keeper who could still speak the names of the dead. Forgetting was extinction, so you learned not to. And then we built a world that remembers everything for us, so that we could finally be free to forget. It was a gift. It is also a kind of forgetting we chose. We pressed it into clay. We printed it. We poured it into a cloud that never sleeps. We handed away the one thing that once made each of us irreplaceable. You're not broken. You're just early. A mind built to be the last copy, living in the age of infinite copies. So the next time a number slips away before you can dial it, don't apologize to yourself. That's not decline. That's a 200,000-year-old system, still holding out for something worth remembering. Give it a story this week. See what stays. Still wired. Ka-El.